Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Live Life Golden Show. This is episode 57. This is why you should follow your dreams and how to do it. So, I'm going to go through today, what may be happening as far as you following your dreams and how to take those little shifts of energy so that you can align yourself with the dreams that are actually calling your heart. And I feel like I'm a little bit of an expert on this because I'm running by the seat of my pants these days and it's super fun and sometimes it's scary and sometimes I'm out of my comfort zone, but it's always good. On the other side, it is always good, good, good. And that's what I want to share because the reality is we always think about what we're going to lose. We never think about what we're going to gain. And because of that, we can stop ourselves from doing a lot of what will actually expand and grow us, leading to that expansion and growth, giving us opportunities to actually exercise our right as powerful creators in this world. And that's what we are. So I am literally like hair on fire these days. I'm creating a lot of stuff with a bunch of different people, which is really fun. Like new stuff keeps popping up every day. I've got plans for this podcast to grow the podcast, and I'm really excited about it. If you love the podcast, please share it with people you love because I feel like this message is super duper important, especially now. And the reason why I feel like now is really important is because of what I'm seeing. Like if you look at planetary alignment, if you look at some of the things that people that study astrology are saying, there is an amping of the energy. And I can tell you that without even looking at an astrology report, I can feel it. Like on every cell of my being, I can feel energy is ramping up. I'm seeing manifestations across the board for my friends, for my family, for myself. I'm just seeing a lot of energy moving really fast. And I'm sure that that is contributed to a lot of our fine tuning that we do as a family, as my friends understand this stuff more, as I share more of this. There is an understanding collectively that we are no longer victims, that we no longer need to live a life of victimhood, that we can actually step and stand in our power and create anything we desire. And the fact that you have something calling to you, you have something on your heart calling to you, means you absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, have the wherewithal to create it. In fact, if you want to get really deep, in some parallel universe, you're already living that. And if you could just energetically align with that frequency, it would happen. So that's going a little deep there for the first part of the show. All right. So many of you know, if you've been listening to the show for a while, that I took a giant leap of faith about 5 years ago. I think we're coming up on 6 years, which I can't believe. In June, it'll be 6 years. We sold everything we owned. We moved across the country to a place that we didn't really know. We had come here to Orange County, California once. We spent 8 days scouting the entire mostly Orange County. We went down to San Diego for a bit. We went up to LA for a bit, but Orange County kind of grabbed us. There's something about it. They call it the bubble, and there's a reason for that. But we felt very aligned with the energy. We felt home, to be honest with you. So taking that leap of faith and spending about 4 to 5 years before that getting ready for it, and then realizing that we had to do something, in favor of it, not just go and visit and try to connect with people and try to line things up before we got there. We actually had to do something that was very action oriented, that was like a total quantum leap in faith. And that was to book plane tickets. That was to sell everything we owned. That was to just get on that plane and not look back and allow the energy to unfold for us and to follow that energy. Everything wasn't figured out. We had a place figured out for 10 days. And that place that we figured out for 10 days probably showed up maybe a week before we left, maybe 2 weeks. We had a friend who was going to Hawaii and she let us stay in her house. Had no idea what was going to happen, had no idea where we were going to end up, what kind of job we were going to have. We had a little bit of savings, but we had to like rebuild a life because we came with nothing. So, when you live through something like that, and now, we're 6 years out, and we look back and we look at all the struggle and we look at the challenges and we look at all of the stuff that built our faith, all of the stuff that created the human beings that we are today, all of the stuff that showed us that yes, we are not only are we powerful creators, but we have universal forces that are orchestrating with us. So we are in a co-creative partnership that allows us to do the things that our heart is calling us to. It's a calling that will never go away, but it can get quieter and it can become a big regret if you don't listen. I can't even imagine. Well, and this is the other thing, when you have a call of the heart and it gets really strong, like that desire gets super duper strong, oftentimes what happens is the energy gets really dense. So things in your experience get really, really hard and difficult, so difficult that you decide that you can't live it anymore. And you're just willing to take that leap of faith because living here is no longer okay. You can't do it anymore. And that's kind of where we were at. So the readiness thing is important. It's very important. So if you're in a situation where you've been here for a while, that dream keeps calling to you, I want you to check in on your energy field because your energy about it is conducting. So, if you're in lack, if you're in misery, if you're wishing, if you're hoping, if you're praying, if you're in all of those elements, that is actually an energy field of kind of begging, desperation. I can't do anything about it. It's like a stagnant vibration. Now, things will happen that will get you out of it. You won't stay in stagnation. It's actually impossible for us to stay stuck. The only thing that actually keeps us stuck is our belief that we're stuck and our refusal to move forward, our resistance in moving forward, because we sit there in confusion and go, I don't even know what to do. There are things that you can do right now that will contribute to starting to activate the energy. There are things you can do. There are shifts, those millimeter shifts that you can make that will actually create a different energy in your field. And soon you'll see evidence of it. There has to be an element of excitement. There has to be an element of trust. There has to be an element of belief. There's got to be that, because if you don't ever believe it's going to happen for you, if you believe you're the most unluckiest person in the world and you're the only one that will ever not live their dreams, we got to shift that. Because actually, I don't think you'd be listening to this if you felt that way. All right. So nothing happened until we took serious action. And nothing will happen when you're in the energy of waiting. So this is what happens when you don't follow your dream. When you put your dream way out here and every day you think about the fact that you don't have that dream, which is lack, right? It's lack, it's misery. You lose focus. Okay. So maybe you've lost focus. Maybe you had that dream for a while and you lost focus because you started to believe that you were too old. You started to believe that there's no way. You're you're imprisoned. You've got a job that you've had for 20 years. You can't leave that job because of your pension. All different things that we do to ourselves where we create lots of excuses and we actually waste a lot of freaking time with our lives. And I know I've said this before. The thing about life is we don't know. We don't know. We really don't. None of us has that little hourglass, and we're watching it run out. Could you imagine if we did? We'd probably all be running around just creating our dreams because we'd be like, holy crap, there actually is an hourglass on my life. And there is. There is. Not to freak you out, not to scare you. So yesterday we watched a show. It was a Joe Rogan podcast with David Goggins. And if you've never heard of David Goggins, look him up. He is fantastic. He's so interesting. I actually read his book a few years ago, and I took some stuff from it. I think that he is extremely wounded, and I think that some healing work would be really helpful. But whatever, like no judgment here. Like live your life. Like he is living his life to the extremist, I will say. But he said his greatest fear is that he's going to die and he's going to go see God, and God's going to show him all of the potentials that he did not create. That's his greatest fear. And I thought, wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be greater if we could live from the experience of not fearing that, but instead doing it joyfully? So he's going after things that suck. He is literally just looking for the hardest things that he could possibly do to prove himself to the world, to make sure that he is living out his greatest potential. For me, as I watched this, I thought my greatest potential is joy. Like, that's, to me, if you are living a joy-filled life, I feel you are living your greatest potential. If you wake up every day and your hair is on fire for excitement for life, I feel like you're living your greatest potential. If you are just experiencing life to the fullest and doing it joyfully, it just feels, I don't know. For me, that's my jam. And that's why I do this show, and I want to transfer energy. I feel like I have this bag of joy, this bag of secrets, this bag of like well-being that I just want to give out to every single person I meet. I just want to give them all the secrets that have worked for me, and that's what this podcast is about. So, it was cool. I would watch the David Goggins thing. There's very valuable stuff in there as far as like resiliency, as far as persistence, as far as proving to yourself that it's mind over matter. I mean, he was a Navy SEAL. This guy has done so much stuff. He has lived lifetimes. He broke the pull-up record. He did like 24 hours of pull-ups. I mean, madness, madness. He almost died from that. It took him 3 times. So he's a super interesting dude. And I think his story gives credit to determination, as much as it was like pushing the energy and desperation. He did 800-mile races in 8 weekends. Who does that? And one other really cool thing that he shared that I thought was really interesting, because I hear a lot of things about overtraining, and I work out really hard every day. And a lot of people will say, I've seen a couple of different like sports therapists and stuff, and they're like, you're going to hurt yourself. You're overtraining, this and that. And David Goggins said anytime he's had an injury, stress fractures, any of that stuff, he just keeps going. He tapes it up. He keeps going. And what he does is, I think what he does is he takes his focus off of the injury. So what you focus on expands. So if you kind of refuse, actually, this is in Fred Dodson's book, Parallel Universe of Self, where he actually healed a broken hand within like an hour. If you absolutely refuse to accept the injury goes away. And I actually have an interesting story to go with that. My husband recently has had a shoulder injury for like the last, I would say, 2 to 3 months. And he's been seeing a sports therapist, and he actually went for an MRI the other day, and he was getting better. He's almost better. So I said, well, why are you going to do the MRI thing? It's a couple $100. And he said, because I just need to know. And this is the awesome thing about knowing. So when we don't know about something that's going on in our body, we create worst case scenarios around it. And that's what he was doing. He was imagining a tear. He took 6 weeks off from the gym, and he was afraid to use it. So he actually found out that he actually has a cyst, like a very small, teeny tiny cyst in there that's laying on a nerve. And the inflammation from working out has actually pushed it onto a nerve. So they have a protocol of therapy that they're going to do with him, but he's like a different person because now he knows. He goes, I know it's not a tear. I know I can't injure it anymore. It's already, it's like, it's not anything that I'm going to continue to injure. So his thoughts has actually created a different feeling in his body. It's amazing how this stuff works. I think about the times that I would go to the doctors, like not knowing if I had like an infection, like when you get a cold, and then finding out that you don't, and all of a sudden you get better. It's freaking amazing. It's amazing. Or you get on antibiotics and you get better. Could be a sugar pill, probably, right? I mean, this is why the placebos work. Sugar pills work because they set your mind on a train of thought that allows your body to heal. So in that, when you're doing this dream stuff, when you're really thinking about what you want to do and what you want to create, do yourself a favor And don't become complacent, because when you become complacent, you actually slow down energy. When you start believing it's never going to happen, when you give up on the dream, you actually slow down the energy field and you don't create manifestation. You want to speed up this energy. That's what we want to do. If you really want to live this dream, we've got to speed up the energy. We've got to put ourselves in the most optimal place to create and activate energy in the direction of that dream. If you don't have a dream, oh Lord, if you don't have a dream, it's time to start focusing within. It's time to quiet that mind. It's time to come to the place to ask yourself, what is it that I want from life? What is it that will bring me joy? What is it that will spark that energy within me? We are all an expression of infinite intelligence, and that infinite intelligence wants to express through us. It wants to experience life through us because we are physical. We are the physical body of this infinite energy. And as we expand, as we grow, as we experience life, that infinite intelligence gets to experience it through us. So of course, you have dreams and desires. Of course, you have something within you. It may be shut down, it may be blocked. You may have way too much masking it. You may be doing too many activities that are not allowing you to play in there and to activate, to tune into it. If you're never quieting your mind, if you're always running around doing errands, if you're super duper busy, if you're always watching TV, if you're always drinking, if you're always smoking pot, all of those things are going to distract you from the truth of what your dream really is. And that would be a shame, because then you're going to get to the end of your life and you're going to go, oh crap, I didn't do the things that I really wanted to do. And because of that, now I'm dying with a boatload of regrets. You don't want to do that. That's why you want to follow your dreams, not out of fear that you're going to die, but out of a zest for life, out of vitality for life, out of an energy that gosh, it's so good. It's so good. All right, so I'm going to get to my notes, which lately I've been having trouble tracking these notes, like staying on task here. All right, so this is what happens when you don't follow your dreams. Like I said, the energy gets denser, you lose focus, you become complacent, you get lackful and slightly miserable, you waste a lot of time in your life. Like, I was thinking this yesterday. So we're sitting at this restaurant called the Hotel Laguna. They just renovated it, so it's beautiful. I just love it. Right on the beach in Laguna Beach. And we had this incredible sunset, and we're sitting there and, enjoying a beautiful meal. And I'm thinking, gosh, could you imagine if we didn't do this? Like, the amount of joy, and literally just recently we have created an incredible community here, and it took us a few years. So I'm not going to say like there wasn't struggle. Good Lord, if you listen to my Follow Your Dreams podcast, you'll see there was a lot of struggle. There was a lot of challenge. There was a lot of contrast. There was a lot of relationships we tried that didn't work out. There was a lot of but I never believed my people weren't here. That's one thing that I didn't believe. And I just kept holding on, and I kept fine tuning. I spent a lot of time by myself. So if you're alone and you're like, I don't have any friends, trust me, they're coming. You just got to get yourself in that higher frequency and align with the people that you really connect with. We have so many friends right now. It's just crazy. Like, it's so much fun. We had a game night the other night, and I can honestly tell you, I think we all laughed for about 3 hours. It's like the stuff that dreams are made of, when you wake up and you're just so deeply satisfied with life. And I don't tell you that to make you feel jealous of me or to make you feel like you can't. I do it because it's like a present that I want to give to you and share with you how to fine tune the situation so that you can live this way as well. If you want to move across the country, if you want to move down south, if you want to quit your job, all these things are possible for you. You just need to start activating the energy, and there may be a leap of faith that has to be taken. I know that big risk often leads to huge rewards, and you can't screw this up. You can't screw it up because you always get another opportunity to arrange things. So as much as, when we came here and we were up against it and we didn't have enough money for rent and there were things that were going on like that, we looked at each other and we'd go, we've come too far to fail. Like we burned the boats back there. I'm not going back there. There's no way. So we can't fail because we're going to keep going. And you'll never fail if you keep going. So that's the beautiful thing. And not for nothing, a lot of times in our failures, in our mistakes, in those things, that's where we learn and grow. That was part of David Goggins' message, is like, if you don't do this stuff, how do you learn and grow? If you stay safe, if you stay the same, you're never going to learn and grow. Take a chance. Take a chance. Take the risk. I promise you, there's going to be a buttload of joy on the other side. I know, because I'm living it. I'm absolutely living it every single day. So your mind keeps you safe and the same. So remember this. When you are tuning into the frequency of excuses, of why I can't do this, of why I can't. When you're tuning into that frequency, that's a radio station and you're going to get more and more evidence of it. Also, if you're feeling fear around something you want to do and you share it with people, they most likely will reflect that fear to you and they'll tell you why you can't do it. I can't tell you how many people did that to us. Like, why the hell would you want to move to California with all the weirdos? Like, people have a perception of California that is so far off from the life that I live. It's insane. Like, where we live is fantastic, and we don't experience any of the stuff that most people think that California is about. But that's what we tune into, right? That's the frequency we tune into. So you are holding yourself apart from joy. And because your mind's mechanism is to keep you safe in the same, it will always tell you why you can't do it. So I was having a conversation with one of my girls today, and she was contemplating something. And she said, my desire is saying yes, which desire for me is heart. And my intuition is saying no. And I said, that's not your intuition. That's your mind trying to keep you safe in the same. And you'll never know if you don't try. You'll never expand. You'll never grow until you put yourself out there again, until you actually take that risk. There may be a giant reward. And if there isn't this giant reward and it ends up not working out, the reward is the expansion and growth that you're going to receive from taking the chance. Because we don't grow from sitting at home, wishing and hoping and praying. I promise. Okay, so now we're going to move towards, that's all the things that are happening. So I want to say this one more time. People only think about the potential of the loss instead of all they will gain. So this happens a lot of times when you're thinking about purchasing something, when you're thinking about investing in your business, when you're thinking about investing in a seminar, things like that. We only think about, oh, I don't want to part with that money. But we don't think about the abundance that we're going to receive from self-development, from personal development, from putting money into our business, from buying something that really brings us joy, buying something that helps us to feel even more abundance and love and joy and beauty. I recently did some redecorating. I just got a new rug. You can see it on Facebook. My friend and I were joking around on it the other night. So plush, so soft, so beautiful, but it's white. And thank God, my husband, he's so sweet. He just walks by it and he goes, oh, so we're doing white rugs now, right? No one's allowed to put their shoes on the rug, not even my friends. So, when I purchased that rug, I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be fantastic. I didn't think about, the cost and how much money I was going to have to put out there. And I'm lucky that we're in a flow of abundance and I can do this. I'm absolutely blessed. Not lucky. I am freaking blessed and I have worked for it and I am reaping the rewards of all the risks I have taken in life. Yes. Hallelujah. So you don't think about what you will gain. And that's the part that's really important. When you think about your dreams, instead of trying to figure out how it's all going to work, start focusing on why. Why? I'm a powerful creator. I deserve to live my dreams. I have this thing calling me. There must be a reason. There must be a reason that it's time for me to follow this dream. All right. So then a couple of the other ways that you keep yourself from this is you try to figure out how it's all going to work out and you don't have enough information yet. So if we had done that, which we did for a little while, we were trying to figure out how it was going to work financially and how my husband was going to be able to work here. And if you don't know this, California is very different than Connecticut. You can get your contractor's license in Connecticut by paying a couple $100 fee. No test, no nothing. Yeah, you're a licensed contractor. Here, you have to it's a 3-month process. You have to take a big long test. You have to pass the test, and the test for a general contractor is plumbing, electrical, carpentry. I'm very lucky that I have an incredibly brilliant man who passed it with flying colors, but it took time. And it took some learning for him to build for here because of earthquakes and things like that. It's different. It's a little bit different here. So in that time, if he had thought about starting his own business, we probably wouldn't be here. So we just kind of put our best foot forward. He put himself out there and he attracted an incredible job with this amazing man who saw us through a lot of the beginning of our stuff here. And it led to him getting his contractor's license and starting an incredibly thriving business here. So it took a little time. There was some scary moments. There was some out of the comfort zone stuff. There was some flying by the seat of our pants, like, holy crap, are we going to be able to do this? There was some shuffling of bills and things like that. But in the end, it worked out better than expected. Absolutely. Did I imagine this? Yes. And now I continue to imagine even better. All right. So if you're trying to figure out those hows, you're going to talk yourself out of it every time because we cannot fathom the universal forces that are going to come to our aid. We cannot fathom the miracles that are in store. We don't have enough information yet. So when we first came here, we had 10 days in our friend's place. And then we spent the rest of those 10 days scouting for a place to live because we didn't even know the town we wanted to live in. So watching that whole thing lining up was like breadcrumbs. My show last week, when I talked about my Live Life Golden Adventure series that I put on outside, was literally like following the breadcrumbs. Listen to that show. It's really good about following the energy field and not having enough information to know exactly what you need to do. But when you need to know, it gives you the information. So that's the beauty of following the energy field. So you can't fathom it. You can't fathom all the stuff that's in store for you, all the amazing stuff that's about to happen. So for me, this is about allowing the flow of ideas that I have to go unimpeded and to create the most joy possible and share it with as many people as I can. That's what makes my hair light on fire every single day. Because this information, when you really understand this, when you really grasp it, when you really grab onto it, believe it, trust it, follow it, you will create epic shit in your life. Like there's no doubt about it that that's what this leads to. So knowing this and like following my heart and my desires and the energy of expanding and growing into a greater capacity of joy, freedom, abundance, vitality is what I believe we're all here for. I don't believe that we're just meant to pay bills and die. Like, I just don't believe that. I believe we all have these incredible gifts and talents that the world needs us to share. And if you're supporting a family, if you're living a life-sucking job, then I get it. It feels like the biggest challenge ever. There's no possible way I could do that. But when you stop feeling that way, when you stop believing in that and you start to open up the flow, you have no idea what's going to transpire. And I'm watching so many people do this, quit their jobs, become entrepreneurs. It's not the easy way. I'm telling you, it's much easier to just get a paycheck, much easier. But that paycheck is very limited. You have a very limited potential in that paycheck. And when you open up your field and you open up yourself to the gifts and talents that you have to create from, the abundance is going to be more than you ever could have imagined, because abundance is in that high frequency of creation, of joy, of waking up every day deeply satisfied. It's not in the life-sucking job that you're grinding yourself to get to every day. And we've heard lots of stories about people who have gotten to the point where they just can't do it anymore. And it's not, if anything, like it's making them sick, or, it's breaking up marriages. So it really is worth following what's going on in your heart and really working from that passion field. It's really, really good. Okay. So initiate more life force and witness more of the universal orchestration when you start to activate energy. And this is how you start to activate energy. Okay. Let go of and how to start engaging stronger with your why. So let go of the how. Just let go of the how. Like let go of trying to figure it out using your mind. Your mind doesn't have the capacity to get yourself like in the field of possibilities. Your mind just doesn't have it unless you're a really good meditator and you're turning down that mind and you're visualizing. If you're visualizing like that, you're probably getting downloads of really cool stuff. But let go of the how and let's start engaging with the why. So I want you to make a list. Remember, writing is the strongest form of focus. Write a list of why you want this, of why your heart is calling you to this, of why you deserve it, of why you even have the gift or the talent, or what you could do with that gift or talent if you just got out of your own way. Make a really solid activation list, an activation of the energy list. This is how I want to feel every day. This is how I want to get up every day. I believe in my abundance. I trust that I have these skills for a reason, that I have this calling for a reason. So focus on that why and read it every day and activate the energy of excitement and passion through it. And then for a little bit of time, it doesn't take very long, either before you go to sleep at night or at the end of your meditation, just visualize and feel into it a little bit, because that's the life you're going to live. Like you're energetically connecting with it. So it's going to happen. Do everything you can physically to contribute to that dream. So this is what you got to think about. What are the things that I would need to do to get myself there? So one thing that we did that really helped activate the energy, we connected with people who lived here. We knew 3 people that lived here. We visited. We talked to them on the phone. We talked about possibilities. We talked about towns. Really funny. I actually have a list of the towns, and the town we ended up in that the girls went to high school in, that is on the top of the list. How funny is that? So activate energy, talk to people that have done it, talk to people that are living it, because that's going to fuel you and that's going to give you more of a picture of what it looks like. Visit. If it's a place, visit. If it's a job, think about what that job would really feel and look like. Start looking at job boards, start looking around to see if there's anything available. If you're looking to leave your country, get your passport. If you don't have a passport, you're not going anywhere. So if you want to travel, get your passport. It takes a little while to get a passport. So you want to activate that energy. That's saying yes to travel. That's saying yes to following your dreams. Get your passport. Get your affairs in order. Get things in order to contribute to the energy of activation. Put your house on the market. Maybe you got to put your house up for sale. Maybe you got to put your house out for rent. These are the things that are so bold and so full of determination, like booking plane tickets. That's what we did. That was our big freaking move. That was the big move, right? Like the balls move, the ballsy move. We're going to book those plane tickets. And then there was no consideration of not getting on that plane. It was like, okay, balls to the wall. Let's go. We got to go. We got to move forward. We got to go as fast as we can. We got to sell everything. We got to get these jobs. We got to get this money together. It put a focus on this that moved energy super fast and created a lot of miracles. So book those plane tickets, visit the area, put your resume out. If you don't have a resume, make your freaking resume if you're looking to do something different. Make time for your passion, couple minutes a day. You want to write a book? Guess what you got to do? You got to write. That's how I wrote my book. I literally said, okay, if I was an author, what would I do? I would write. I know it seems really simple, but really silly, right? I would write every single day like my hair was on fire. And that's what I did. I wrote for 7 days straight. And I have an 85-page book called Quantum Speak that I think is pretty fantastic. It took a lot more time to edit it and actually get it out. But the process of creating it became something of identity creation, where it was like, if I was an author, what would I be? What would I do? If you have a desire to get in shape, guess what you got to do? You got to go to the gym. You got to join the gym. You got to start, with a nutrition plan. I actually have a podcast with my great friend, Jeremy. Jeremy and I have a lot of great things coming up. I'm super excited to be partnering with him. We got some challenges we're going to throw down. We're going to help you nutritionally. We're going to help you actually just live vitality, just create vitality in your life. So whatever it is, it's really important to activate the energy that will lead you to more. Then moving forward, you have to interrupt that shitty committee. You got to interrupt that stinking thinking. You got to not share this with people you think that are going to knock you down, especially if you're not super determined yet. If you're not really in it and have your foundation, do not ask the opinion of those who have not followed their dreams. Do not ask the opinion of those who are living a life that's less than. If you really want to live your dreams, keep it to yourself and only share it with the ones who are going to be excited for you and that are going to actually contribute. That's like the people that we talked to who lived here. They felt really excited about getting us out here. So those are the people that we shared it with. And we actually didn't share it with our family until we were really close to leaving because, it was like, we're going to hold on to this dream and we're going to move forward. And until we are like totally and absolutely positive that it's going to happen, we're not going to share it because we don't want anybody. One thing that I did do that was really funny is I told the people, and I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but I was acting as if, right? So I would like go through the grocery store and I was friends with everybody in the grocery store. I tend to do this. I don't know why. And the people in the grocery store, I told them I was moving to California. So then like week after week after week, they would see me in there. And at one point, this woman said, "You already look like you live in California. Like you're just exuding the whole California vibe, the blonde thing, whatever. I get tan in the summer." So I realized that it kind of got me into trouble because I didn't have a plan yet. And so when I finally had a plan, it was so exciting to be like, "Oh yes, we're leaving June 1st," It was a little challenging, but it's kind of fun to do that with people. I'm not going to say that they don't matter, but they're not like big players in your life. So you just kind of share it, like just a stranger that you're talking to. "Oh yeah, I'm moving to California." That makes it real. That makes your subconscious go, "Oh crap, she's going. She's serious." That makes the universe go, "Oh, she's serious. She's telling people about this. She's activating energy about this. She's got excitement. She's got passion. She's ready to go." So I would be strategic about that and not share it with the people you think like your uncle that's going to tell you why it's not going to work, but just share it with people maybe that are dreamers themselves. They're people that are actually living their joy and their dreams. So when you get excited, like with my partner, so my husband at first did not want to move. And that was a little challenging, but I remember feeling like the only thing that matters is my reaction. So if I would get upset and I would fight with him, it would make him dig in deeper, make me dig in deeper. And it wasn't good. So I stopped doing that. So when he would say something, and also, it was a reflection of my fear inside that it wasn't happening, that we weren't actually going to do it. So once I worked on that, I was working with an energy healer at the time and I started to really clean that up. Eventually, he actually worked with an energy healer and came to that move to California as well. And then we both got excited and we would talk about it all the time and we would get excited about it. Meditating to the ocean waves, just feeling the energy, pretending I was in California in my mind, all of that stuff. I literally could see my house here. I could feel the sunshine. I activated a lot of that. So, being able to talk to your partner and being excited about it instead of talking about why it won't work or instead of trying to argue and talk them into it just let your response go. Don't let that cause fear. Just let it be and trust that it's all going to come into alignment because it's your desire and your dream. And it doesn't mean that they don't get what they want. It just means that you're in a stronger manifestational foundation, and eventually it all comes where everybody wants it. And that's exactly what happened in our family. And it was very cool. So know this: the dreams and desires of your heart never go away. They never go away. They're always going to be there. And that's probably why you've had years of this quiet little voice telling you, I want to do this. I want to do this. Why aren't we doing this? I can't do it, right? They may become quieter and harder to follow as time goes on, and they may become regrets if you never go through with them. So why not now? Why not? Why not now? That's my question. Oh, I can't. I got to wait for the kids to do this and that. And why not now? Why not activate energy now and get ready to be ready? That is like a number one in infusing energy into something, is believing that it could happen much faster than you even imagine. So the number one reason for following your dreams now is to place yourself in the highest frequency sooner and to no longer live in misery and regret. Why waste time? Why spend time thinking about your dream when you can be living it? You know, there's nothing that's impossible. We have infinite potential. We have the greatest potential for tuning into the field of possibilities in this life. And like I said before, the energy is ramping up right now. And it is the perfect time. It is the perfect time to go after whatever it is that you want to do. And you absolutely can do it. And I'm absolutely sure that people have done it. Whatever it is that you're dreaming, I'm sure people have done it. And I'm sure that you absolutely have the wherewithal to do it as well. All right. So here is the steps for following your dreams. I shared already a little bit about this. Here are the things that you can do in order to activate more of your dreams. So you got to get ready, right? Get that passport, do the thing, activate the energy, build the website, whatever it is that you need to do. I did so many things a long time ago that actually benefit me today. So many things. Like I got ready for so many things that now it's like they're in my arsenal. They're part of my arsenal, right? Like part of what I can do to actually activate more of my dreams. So here's the way to follow your dream. So you're not waiting, because the energy of waiting is very much a gap between what you want to live and what you're living. So you want to stop waiting, because waiting is dense energy, slows energy way down. What are you waiting for? I don't know, like something to fall into your lap. It's possible, it happens, there's no doubt about it, but why not be proactive is my question. So, to follow your dreams, the first thing that I did was I energetically aligned. And keep in mind, when I first energetically aligned, I thought I wanted to live in Vegas. And the reason for that is because I have people out there that I absolutely adore, that became like family to me, that I love, 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 love so much. I also wanted to be warm. What happened was we visited Vegas like in February, and I realized that I didn't love it, right? So visiting a place that you think you want to live is really important. Spending a little bit of time there, a week or two, three, maybe even a month, to make sure you align with the energy is a good idea. So once the Vegas thing kind of fell off of my desire, I asked myself what I really wanted. And I was doing energy work, with an energy person to clarify, to really get clear on what it was that I wanted to create. And California has always been a dream of mine since I was a little girl. It's just like that TV dream, right? Like you see California on TV and the palm trees and the warm air and the beautiful people. And it's like, yes, I want that. So that dream, it just fueled and it continued to fuel. And it became more and more as I paid more attention to that as I activated more energy. So I meditated to the ocean waves. I imagined myself living here. I imagined myself going to yoga with my friends. I imagined myself standing in the sunshine outside of my house. I imagined myself never having to shovel snow again. Like all of those things. And then I got in joy. Like every single day, I found a way to bask in joy living where I didn't want to live. And the things that caused the nail in the coffin feeling in me, as we call it, when it snowed and those things, I just kind of embraced it. I felt like it was the last time I was going to deal with it. I still was in joy. I wasn't in misery because I knew there was a vibration in California that I needed to elevate to in order to get there. And if I was miserable where I am, it's really hard to get to somewhere else. It's holding off that joy and that happiness until, and it doesn't really work that well. If you really want to ramp up energy, joy, happiness, love, gratitude, all of that stuff actually makes energy move faster. So I got in gratitude. I got under my cats, with some blankets, and I snuggled and I meditated and I wrote books and I visualized and I believed and I trusted. Then what ends up happening is you start looking around and you start seeing evidence. And I let that evidence, California license plates, California t-shirts, California on my TV, people talking about California, meeting people. I actually had a friend. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. I saw her at the liquor store one night and she was from California. And this is when I was like really working on it. And it was, I forget what month that was, but I hadn't seen her in a while. And she goes, "Oh yeah, we're moving back to California." And I was like, "What? You're moving to California?" And she was like, "Yeah, we're moving back in like just a couple of weeks. We're taking all our stuff." And I was like, "Oh wow." Like she's in my field, right? Turns out when I got here, I found out through the girls because they were friends with her boys. She lives like 15 minutes from me. I have never reached out to her. She's not on social media, but how weird is that? Like she lives 15 minutes from me. So I started noticing the evidence of it, which is always signs. Like I'm very in tune to signs and looking around for miracles and messages and all of that stuff. That stuff ramps up excitement. So as you see that, you trust it. You trust it and you go, "Holy cow, the field is showing me that it's leading me home, that it's leading me to my dreams." That is so amazing. Start acting as if. So that's what I was doing in the grocery store. I was acting as if I was pretending that I was leaving when I had no idea when that was going to happen. I just remember this guy being like, "Oh, so you're still here?" And I was like, "Oh God. Yep. Well, we're lining up. My husband's looking for a job." Man, did it feel good the day I told him we were leaving. Whew, did that feel good, right? Drop the lack and the misery. You got to get happy. You can't be happy when. You got to be happy now. If you really want to activate energy, it's like, what can I be grateful for now? What can I be grateful for now? Can I spend time online looking at places to live or looking at jobs or looking at, maybe you're looking for a significant other. Can I spend time looking at beautiful people and thinking about the possibility? If it's friends you want, can I literally tune myself into different situations and groups that are going to help me to activate that energy of community? I joined a gym. That gym led me to a lot of people, a lot of amazing and beautiful and inspired and joyful people for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. That was my number one connection to community. And if you read in the book Younger Next Year, which you guys know I promoted that book about staying young, one of the biggest ways, greatest ways that to stay young is to join a gym. And the reason for that is so you got somewhere to go every day where there's people, because you need people around you. My grandmother suffered from Alzheimer's and she lived alone in a trailer park, and most of her friends had died. And I truly believe that contributed. And the same thing with my father-in-law. They were just alone a lot. And when you're alone a lot, you don't have that resonance. It's called limbic resonance, which is that resonance of emotion and excitement and connection and community. So join a gym. Exercise. Exercise is one of the greatest things you can do to create vitality, to move energy out of your body, to create these incredible hormones that lead to serotonin and dopamine and all those happy vibes. It also helps you just to feel good about yourself, build that muscle. You feel good when you have muscle. Let me tell you, just walking around, you feel better. You've got that vitality and that life force that is really important, really important. And it's a commitment to something that says, yes, I want to be healthy, right? It's that activation of energy of, yes, I want to be healthy. So that's it for today. I'm just in this element in my life where I'm like, no holds bar. Like that's how I feel. No holds bar. Like I'm just going to go after it because I know that everything that I want to create is possible. And when I say that, I want you to know it too. I want you to know that anything that you have a desire in your heart for, anything that feels like true heaviness in your life, that feels like it's not working, that feels like it's sucking the life out of you, it's got to go. And eventually, if you don't make it go, it's going to go on its own. But why wait? Why wait? Activate energy in the direction of what you want. I've heard so many times about people losing jobs and it was like the best thing that ever happened to them, even though they thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to them at first. It turned into the best thing that ever happened to them. So following your dreams is not for the weak. It's not for the victims. It's for the people that are ready to say hell yes to life. It's for the people that are ready to say hell yes to joy and to living vitality and expansion and growth. Expansion and growth does not come from being safe and the same. It comes from us getting out there, creating and doing and being and activating more of that potentiality of who we are. And I'm just pumped that I know this and I'm pumped that I can share it. And if you have questions, you can email me. You can hit me up on my Facebook page. I've got a Live Life Golden group that's great. Please share this podcast. It's something that I'm really passionate about, people knowing about this energy and getting to transfer. So I was thinking about this today, like I'm a catalyst. That's what I am. I'm a catalyst for energy. And since I can transfer energy and excitement, and my excitement can be very contagious, either that or it annoys you. I don't know which one. But that's up to you and that's about you. So if I'm a catalyst for energy, then listening to this and transferring energy to you contributes to your following your dreams. And how freaking cool is that? And that's why I can't keep it to myself. I do have a way for you to be a VIP subscriber, and I do offer things to my VIP subscribers. Pretty soon I'm going to have my book out on audio and they're all going to get that. So that's a $20 commitment every month, but that's the value, like the exchange of energy. If you're listening to this podcast on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and it's really had a profound effect on you, then that exchange of energy, that giving and receiving, it's good. It's important. Trust me. Like it's about trusting the energy field, trusting in your abundance, and trusting that this kind of information, when you value it and you apply it and you become one with it, you create the life you really want and you really desire. There's also a $5 VIP thing. One last thing, two last things. I am launching another M21 challenge this Wednesday. You can find that at M21 Revolution on Facebook. Just search and ask to join. It is a free group with tons of videos in it, donation-based challenge. So this month, I'm super excited. My partner, Jess, actually is traveling. So she said I could rock this one on my own, which I've never done before. And I'm pretty excited to do it. I just have, fire. I got to share the fire with you people. So please join that. It's super amazing because you commit to a 21-day quieting your mind practice, but also learning the foundations of universal law and how to mind train, how to interrupt those thoughts that are creating the opposite of what you want so that you're not evoking the emotions that are creating havoc in your life. So meditation goes in full alignment. Training of the mind goes in full alignment with universal law. So that's my M21 group. It starts on Wednesday. I do a post usually every day, a post or two every day, and then I pop in there and do videos guided meditations, emotional releases. I'm sure I'll do lots of those this month since it is just me. Jess usually kind of handles the meditation piece of it, but there's a lot of those videos of me in there from the past. So that's M21. The next thing I'm doing is live adventures. I'm so excited. I've got a lot of stuff coming that I can't even, like, I wake up every day like, holy crap, I'm doing this. So I'm doing live adventures. I'm offering that. If you have a bunch of people in your area that you want to get together, let's talk about it. I am willing to travel. I'm excited to travel and to bring this really amazing community of people that are excited about universal law, learning how to be a powerful creator. And that is an adventure. And it is unfolding like every time. I have all these ideas, so it's becoming more and more and more. My next one in California will be sometime in May, probably the second weekend in May. I was going to do it the first weekend, but it's not going to work out. So probably the second weekend, I'm going to post that on my Live Life Golden page as soon as I get the definite on that date. And it will be once a month here for a while. I've got like 10 teachings. Then in September, October, I'm going to be doing a weekend workshop, probably somewhere like in LA, California, with a partner that I am super excited. He's going to be on the podcast soon. I have a couple of really awesome creators on the podcast soon. So it won't just be me blah, blah, blahing the whole time. I've got some guys who really understand law of attraction and they explain it differently than I do. And I love it. I love co-creating with people. So that is to come. So exciting. So I love you all. I'm really excited. And if you've got a dream that you want to follow and you need some shifting, please let me know. Post it in the group. It's helpful for us all to do this together. If you're shy about it, you can inbox me, but I do love to have that stuff out on the page, on the Live Life Golden page, so that we can expand and grow together. All right. Love y'all. Peace.